So we're going to start this morning out with an article that is not, it's a pretty serious article, as you can tell from the headline, about a kayaker here in Vermont who did not make it. And I want to read the article to you. And before we get too far in, I just want to say that I will be also dropping a video. I'm going to wait for a little while on this live video we're doing this morning. And I hope everyone is doing well out there today in Vermont, if you live in Vermont or you're going through Vermont. And please know that this is a tricky time of year because the waters do swell. They are, if you're not familiar with the area and you can't tell that the water is high, that could pose some issues right there. So you want to be extra careful this season. And so after we do this video, we'll make this a short video, but I will be dropping a video on one of the little cemeteries. There's two cemeteries I really want to cover with you this spring. And the weather's getting warmer, so I'm going to head over to one of them this morning because I'm super curious about it. So I'll be doing a video though. We won't go live because when we're live like that outside, I can't tell sometimes if you're getting good reception or not. So this article I want to cover, it came in my email and from Newsbreak, but it's called the 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 Spun, SPUN.com, by Anthem Sports. Okay, now the article is called U.S. Kayaker Dead at 34 After Horrific Experience. I understand this is this happened in Vermont, so let's read it. It is dated April 7th, and it is by Chris Razvaglu, if I'm saying that correctly. So good morning, Stephanie Hernandez. How are you? Thank you for being here. So this article, it starts out, we're going to read it together. It says it was sadly confirmed that Sarah Goldberg, a seasoned kayaker. If the question is related to Vermont or something like that, if it's personal, I don't answer them. But thank you for asking first. So, well, I'll go through this and I'll note your question if it's something I can answer. So, this is sadly confirmed that Sarah Goldberg, a seasoned kayaker, so she's very well experienced, has passed away at 34 years old, very young. Goldberg was reportedly kayaking with a friend on the icy Lamoille River. That is the river I've been showing you guys in the videos. You've noticed it swelled, you've noticed it icy, you noticed the ice jams. We've been looking at that. This was in Wolcott, Vermont, so it's not far from me at all. It was in Wolcott, Vermont, when our kayak capsized. So although the Lamoille County Sheriff's Department rushed to the scene, they were unable to save her. The authorities rushed Goldberg to Copley Hospital, which is very close by, guys. I don't know if they had her in a ambulance, or they probably had her in an ambulance, because from Wolcott, let me think here for a moment. Wolcott, if you're going 80, 90 miles an hour, will be less than 10 minutes, maybe 5, if they're going super fast. Well, Wolcott, yeah, I mean, it's a very short time they could get her there. What it looks like is Sarah got into turbulent water and ended up out of her kayak upside down. and wasn't able to swim out of it. You know, guys, this is exactly what, and I've been saying this my entire life to people because I see them go in the waters in the spring before there's any signs up or before the water has had a chance to go down. Vermont terrain, guys, is as the earth is millions of years old. But in Vermont, because you get such a cold winter, the earth shifts and the water in the rivers, they shift. So what can happen, even if you know what you're doing and you know Vermont and you know the Vermont rivers, they can create little whirlpools during the winter that nobody knows about. It doesn't matter how experienced you are, you may not know. So she went down. She went down in some raging water. Sounds like I showed you some too. I showed you where it was swirling. Look at the short videos. I show you where it's swirling, and it's just one short area, and then I show you right next to it how deep it gets. So she could have been in a very shallow area, and then the funnel pulled her. I mean, it could have happened that way. I don't know. It's so sad. This is very sad. She wasn't able to swim out of it. Roger Marcoux, the sheriff, said it sounds like pretty horrific scene where they were trying to get to her as she was floating down the river. Oh shoot, she was floating down the river unconscious, and finally her partner was able to get a hold of her. Yeah, so some parts of these rivers, they go super fast. It's not big. They're, I've shown you it. It's like it looks like the width of a street. You know what I mean? But the velocity of the water is a whole nother thing going on. As you imagine, prayers have been pouring in for Sarah Goldberg and her loved ones. She was also experienced in the smartest person I knew. That's a quote there. And then another, I don't know who said that. It doesn't say. And then another quote is she never would have done something if she didn't think it was 100% safe. There's a massive hole in our community right now that nothing will ever fill it. And another quote, so sorry for your family and friends have lost a precious family member. The tragic incident is under investigation at this time. Our thoughts are with Goldberg's family. So that apparently, look, yeah, she was unconscious in the water. They have to do an autopsy. They have to do an investigation. However, if the kayak, can I tell you something? I did have a kayak, and I used to go on the waters. I love it. Love, love, love the waters. But I was always nervous about the river, and especially the ocean. Forget it. But the ponds in Vermont, I felt safe in because I felt like, you know what? If the boat tipped in a pond, I know the pond, and I could swim, I could see the land, so I could get to it. But even though you can see the land with the river, there's, like I said, there's a lot of shifting and rocky areas in there. That's very sad. I wanted to share this with you this morning. And just really quickly, I want to go over the highlights of safety in kayaking in Vermont. So just if you are out there. Safe kayaking in Vermont, it requires the Coast Guard approved life jacket. And so it didn't say if she had her life jacket on. So what could have happened is when she flipped on the waters, because they do go fast here, she could have, even with the life jacket on, if she hit her head, that would cause her to be unconscious in the water to whisk her. And like I said, some parts of these rivers are deep. Do not kid yourself. So maybe that's why her partner could not get to her. between the deep water and the rapids. And there are rapids, yeah. So it says wear a secure fitted PFD life jacket. Always 80% of boating fatalities are because somebody is not wearing their life jacket. It's a really good reminder. And when you look at the water, especially in a pond, you're like, oh, it's so quiet. I'm just going right over here on the edge. You don't anticipate, even you yourself, you could have a medical um, emergency just all by yourself and accidentally pass out or something. You want your life jacket on, keeping you up above. So dress for the cold water. Use the 120 rule. Water and air temperatures 128. If the water is under 60 degrees, consider a wet suit. Under 50 degrees, a dry suit. So, wetsuit, I'm sorry. So, look, in the sports shops all over Vermont, they have the kind of like the wetsuit pant. Like if you just want to get the pant or you want to get the pant and the top, they have them. Like, I don't even buy these things and I see them right in front of me when I go in looking maybe for a pair of shoes. That's the only reason I go in there for shoes. Everything else is thrift shop for me. But if I do need something particular like that, I would go in one of the sports shops. So, and they're a little pricey. This right now, this time of year, that this kayaker went in. Okay, so let's think about this. She went in early April. Today's April 15th. That was dated, this article we just read was dated, what, like the 4th or something like that. So, as you know, all through March, we had really cold weather here still. Guess what? The beginning of April, I don't even need to really look at the date because it was chilly. We had like maybe one warm day. Right now it's up in the 50s. So we're getting out of the cold weather. But the days around that area there, that time slot, was still really cold. So the water was probably still freezing. Okay, now this also says share your plan or try to go out with someone. I would always use the buddy system. And if you can't use the buddy system, try to get, with a group. The Green Mountain, no, they have a Green Mountain Hikers. They probably have Green Mountain Kayaking or something. But look it up. Carry safety gear. Bring a whistle. Make sure your paddle is in good condition because the paddles do break. They just crack. And avoid alcohol. Never operate a boat when you're under the influence. Don't go out there fishing, guys. If you're going to have a little drinky poo like that or something, stand on the bridge and fish. Don't go into the water or sit on the bank. You know what I mean? Vermont specific considerations. If you're a kayaker in Vermont, guys, or even in a canoe, I loved kayaking, but I'm not going to do it at 66 years old by myself. I'm not going to do it anymore. So look, Vermont specific considerations, river hazards. This is in Vermont. Watch for submerged debris in changing water levels. Guys, I don't need to be an expert to know and notice and tell you that these water levels change quickly, and I don't, no pun intended, rapidly. And like I said, I show you in some of the videos, it's shallow here and super deep right next to it, like in a second. Okay, Lake Champlain. If you're kayaking on large lakes, check the weather forecast as conditions can change quickly, very quickly. Shoreline, I was sitting here yesterday, it was sunny, 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 and all of a sudden, boom. It was so dark I had to put the lights on in here because it was getting ready to rain. So shoreline zone, maintain no wake speeds, 5 miles per hour within 200 feet of the shore, docks and swimmers. Those are the shoreline zone policies, guys. You've got to go really, really slow. There could be a swimmer, if you're going faster, there could be somebody swimming just out a little bit, especially here in Vermont. They jump in, they like to go underwater a lot. You could accidentally have an accident with a swimmer. And the docks, can I tell you something? There's many docks close to the shores that are underneath in the water. No, I don't mean the legs of the docks. I mean the whole dock. Why it's in the water, if the water table has risen like that over the years, or it broke down and they broke it down and left it in the water. There are docks under the waters. So yeah, be super careful like that if you're kayaking. Cold water hypothermia. Water in Vermont is often, excuse me, is often cold enough to cause hypothermia quickly. So I'm not sure what happened with Sarah Goldberg, God bless her soul, and her family, guys. But she was a seasoned, experienced kayaker. She must have had a wetsuit on that would have cut the temperature. It sounds like they got there as quick as possible. And I think I even heard the ambulance around that time. I think I heard them. I'm very close to that main drag where they would go there to Wolcott. So it's super sad. I'm going to watch for the follow-up on that article, guys, for you, because it doesn't say exactly what happened to her. It said it flipped. So if the kayak, let me just think about this. I did flip once in a kayak. It was in a pond and I was with someone. And it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. But one thing is you have to make sure you can get out quickly. And mine did not flip over raging waters at all. So let me just read a tiny bit more here for you if you're thinking of kayaking in Vermont, okay? So an overview here. Capsizes do happen. And they tell you even to practice capsizing with someone. So you get the feel of it. Even to the best kayakers, capsizes happen. Knowing how to get back into your boat while in deep water will give you confidence in all conditions. We'll talk about dressing for the conditions, and they go on like that. I am right now, guys, I'm at the site called Umiak. So, UMIAK.com. And this is just a couple of kayaking rescue techniques. Oh, they actually give a lesson. Is this in Vermont? So let me tell you where it is. Oh, I know where this is. Okay. So if you're interested in kayaking and you want to take a safety course, and no, these guys did not pay me. This is not an advertisement. I'm just sharing this information with you for goodness, for the intention of goodness. So this lesson, they give lessons, and we'll talk about dressing for conditions and carrying rescue gear on your boat. Learn and practice proper wet exits as well as re-entry. Review the proper technique for forward, reverse, and draw strokes. We'll learn to rescue ourselves and others with Eskimo, tea, and paddle float rescues. That's what the lesson is. It's available upon request. The lesson is 2 hours. Open enrollment is $79 per person. A private lesson is $159. They have it right here, guys. And the location is in Stowe. I know exactly where this is, right on Main Street. And they provide the instructor, the watercraft, the paddle, and the life jacket. the minimum age is 13. Minors must be with an adult. No persons past their third trimester, like if you're expecting, and no pets. So, you know, they want to focus on just you in your kayaking. Okay, so that's interesting. Anyway, with that, I just wanted to jump on here this morning, and I will be dropping, let's say, won't be a live video, it will be a recorded video. I let this one sit out there for a little bit, and then I'm going to drop a recorded video, and you'll see me in the cemetery. So come on with me on that one. That one's fun. Okay, guys? So anyway, we'll be doing that next. Have a beautiful morning, guys.